Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Okay, bye.
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive? Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the encounter. Had a strong sense of finality to it. So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed, even if it kind of turned into a shit show. Hey, that's just what I heard. Old wives' tale. Good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you, but hey, you're still breathing, right? I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be... Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went. Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go.
We can't just let it go.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on the...
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drugs?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Excuse me? Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentire, off May. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail. What about you, Copman? You missing someone? I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles. There are types of danger. The one I'm usually concerned with is lung cancer or getting mauled by wildlife, not bullets. It calls back to an older era where this was commonplace, though. Hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out. No, man. Not today. Time will tell. I'll tell Evrart you dropped by. I'm sure he'll be glad. I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Getting to like that red I am. Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And live. You know it, friend.
Mon Dieu, officer. It is worse than I thought. Believe me, I know all about that kind of pain. Maybe it's time to slow down, enjoy life a bit. Anything I can do to assist you?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point. She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass. It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her? I find that hard to believe, but at this point, what difference does it make? So it is. I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep these past few days. I understand. Not a lot, no. Of course. I mean, how do we get there? Joyce Messier had her sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you. You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire. I give credit where credit is due, and that, sir, was a nice shot. I was watching until you hit him. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyway. I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, but the drinks are not. Just felt I needed to specify that. Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business. I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad. Yeah, I was. Yeah. That's because I'm a bad ass. Yeah, I don't know. Clients were panicking. And also, I guess I sort of found out that I don't give a shit if I die. No problem. They'll come back. They always do. No, I completely failed to notice that. It's only in front of the entrance to the establishment I manage. Though maybe it's still better than just the blood.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you. But I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately. That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you for intervening, fellas. That was mighty brave of you. Dick Mullen on steroids. Glenn would have liked you had he gotten it. Never mind. Theo was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him withering away on a sickbed. But Angus, he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone else's shit like a fat, angry bear. And Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit. Dennis, that poor little rat is dead too. I always thought he'd run. But no, he stayed. Stupid, brave fella.
Man, getting shot has really squeezed all the funk out of you. Mark my words. One day we'll look back at this day and remember their courage, not their deaths.
Right. But today ain't that day yet. His Theo was but And Glenn was my friend. Best of...
Huh? Cut that shit out. That's the kind of rhetoric bangers sell to kids in Jamrock to get them to join a gang. I'm sick and tired of this honor.
Yeah. Had to tell Angus's mom about the honor that was bestowed upon his son. She didn't share your optimism. Theo was but Angus. And Glenn was my friend. Well, yeah. Memento mori. Right.
Absolutely. Today, I'm going to get drunk.
Or you might die of a heart failure.
Hey. Fuck you for ruining a beautiful idea.
I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some ambitious fellows there who'd love nothing more than advancing social democracy by busting some heads. Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing Winters, and maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry. Don't know, don't care. Nope. Judging by the sight of you, I'd suggest crawling into bed with a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a big tit in the other.
Yeah, go pay Monica a visit in Jamrock. She's got a knack for making men forget about their worries. Biggest pair of milkers in all Revachu.
Hell, you both look like you could use some feminine company right now.
Thank you for your advice, Eugene, and you too, Alain. I do always appreciate a good use of the expression milkers.
You're welcome, Bina Claude. You're all right in my book. Nah, the harbor's in complete lockdown. We don't. Gonna sit tight. Get drunk. Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death, Pat.
Copo Loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Jamrock.
Thanks for getting involved, guys.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back,
I can't really do that. Around.
Officer, what happened? You're wounded.
You're...
Why are you wounded? You look terrible. Look at you. You can barely walk. Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guilaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
That's nothing to brag about, officer.
Ah, it's not serious. He'll be okay.
Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, you just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two.
Aye. Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
And that island. That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets. I don't know what those are. They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out. No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Because he asks to put the fire out. I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to be there. Yes. I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes. No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know. We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there. Our father killed himself. Don't say that, he didn't. I'm sorry. There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island. What? Fine. Let's blast Sadefem then.
He actually does it. Oh wait, no, that's not the boom. Wait, is it?
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Want to be
Let's go. Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain. From enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Oh. This is really pretty.
Yes? Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army, the black and white army of the revolution. It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals. This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign. No, an upside-down star. No, that's the uninhabited archipelago. After 44 years, that's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel. It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter. I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy. Someone's made themselves a home. Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed. You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Ah, shit.
I'm going to Morova, to live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, oh, this. This is just a wreath. The The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to... Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes, not as often as I used to. So much time has passed. More than it seems here. No, Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into it. The poetry thing is not going to help. It's only going to make things worse. I really have to go. I don't even know how you got here. No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Why is he creeping up on her like that?
Why did you do that to yourself? You know I don't cheat, Harry. I never cheated on you. No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. You know what this means. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else. It's not, but... I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. See? It just takes some time. For you, I think it'll take something like 20 years, maybe. It was hard for me, too. I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can. Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. Yes. But that time is gone now. It's okay. No, Harry. We already tried again. I'm actually very ordinary, Harry. Below this gown and wreath, I have an ordinary soul and ordinary thoughts. This thing you've made me into. I'm sorry for saying so, but I just hate it. What is this? This is so far gone, Harry. I don't even... My lungs do not glow, Harry. I am just like all the others. It is. And it's making me late for my beautiful, beautiful flight to Morova. Far, far away from you and Revachol. That is very contested by modern historians. Very contested. Plus, you're only saying this because things didn't work out between us. I have to go to the aerodrome now. I'm not that either. Can't I just be? I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. Light, life, culture. It's so much better than here. I have to wipe it all off me and be clean again. I want to be a good person again. Not this. Not what you made me into. No. That would only be painful and dull. At the aerodrome, life, love, and laughter are waiting for me. At the cafeteria, dust, hell, and tragic comedy. That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and am happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago? Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream? Okay. Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open? I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Hitting the blast door seems like the best plan. Fuel, generator, console. That's our best chance. The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radio diffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does. We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like... We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them...
What the fuck? What is that? No, no, I just wanna... it's making me download it. I'll just forward it. Wait, can I copy it? No, I can only forward.
This looks like a good place to aim from. A good place to hide. Cozy. Relatively safe from the rain. What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window? I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest. Nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere. Where? We should move now. should do it. It's on. Turn emergency open. After you. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here. I don't know. Don't worry. I have a gun. I know. It was not easy to acquire.
But I don't have any bullets, so...
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used...
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. I did. And you opened it. How? Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM. I did.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a Triangong 446.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid. You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the board. You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank. A big-time operator of the pederast army. How about I keep it, huh?
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. It's out of bullets. The future teaches you to be alone. The present to be afraid and cold. Real music. Real Brouillette Cult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites. It is the anthem of the world revolution. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess. Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it. Talk to her. God's shithouse. Should have taken it down like they did in Grad. Dismantled it for fun. How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember.
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir? Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself. No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
May the 13th, 08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds, when they started shelling the combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the Commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room. No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second, and then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human.
Now is not the time, Lieutenant Jeffreto.
I had to. I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore. It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AAG. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio, Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. You don't know. You haven't the black-eyed angel. How does anyone survive? I steal supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health?
I've been throwing up blood since winter.
The RCM can provide medical services.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. I have been running out of that stuff. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark. It's disgusting. It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and... So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Useless now.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber. The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste d'Insolande. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity. Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
If the party had surrendered, then it would not be the party. I don't think you did. You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing and sporting goods. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution. No, the opposite of that. A few. No, you're not. All the real communists are dead. They died fighting for communism.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions.
43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting. Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Always. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. And the historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore.
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams. There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. What did I just say? The who now? Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the Commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime. I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Droz. Too long.
I'm ready to die. You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? 4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder. You're lost, Dwight. You're lost. I ain't going. capital. What do you want? Minions of capital. What do you... Pretty... Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa?
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck. Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth. They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may. Classier. My ears don't reach the city with the victim. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds. Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol. I had them in my sights, both of them, him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him? Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique. Minions of capital. What do you want? 3 weeks ago, when the rich hag came in on her galley, her honor guard came in tow. Wrinkled up whore. Black sexual morals are a bourgeois ploy. As to pederasty, the party legalized it in '04. My party, not your liberal masters. So don't you sermonize me, you racist shithole. It's still bourgeois when the bourgeois does it, fiddling with their sexual organs. They moved into a deserted apartment above the roundabout. Radio equipment out for all to see. Reactionary radio playing, sloppy and drunk. I've seen their kind during the landing. Those Occidental and Mesk phalangs weren't conscripts. Boys like us. They were whites. All they know is barely alive. They like to kill while they're on their drugs. After the landing, in the burning years, I would take shots at them. End them. The worst ones, if I had a bullet to spare. I could see they've returned now, to show their real face. The face they don't dare show their bourgeois voters back on Mundi with their families and polyester clothes. Them fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. that too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second. Writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything. Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then.
Past the Fell building on the coast. What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared. Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut. Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No. I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to found. Oh, I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. And a body, hard and lean and bruised all over. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook? From the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio. I'm not blind, am I? I have my ways.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling rags. Those were your footprints. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
But that nook too?
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope. She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her. You're delusional. There's nothing to see in the soul of the bourgeois woman. It's the same as the surface. Sick hedonism and no one gives a shit what you think. You and your cronies kill 10 working-class men a day. There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough. Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Yes, over the years, it's not unproletarian to feel something. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. What do you mean, put? Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you. Her. Where is she, that Clazier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
A tragic comedy. Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez, because of the racists, everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol, at least intense, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until, in the 30s, those disco whores. Whores. Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is the bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself, his son, and he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government, and those grotesque statues too. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? No. Cynical design cockroaches like you erected a new, ironic version of it. We tore it down with honest, working-class plastic explosives. But there it is again. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata. Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real... That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revachol... You can't live alone.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Not...
I haven't approached anyone. I hid.
How did he know you were...
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago, neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat. Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity, too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgard, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac, race traitor. I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them, that one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think. No, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, René. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Yes, of course. Must be passing a kidney stone. I hope it's excruciating. Glad? It's all gone. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people. Yes, where is he? I hope he doesn't have debilitating arthritis or kidney stones. No, I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. And I blew them all. All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. And now, God, fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. Glad we talked about what? What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Maybe we could all fit in there. Actually, no. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but... You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
Okay, how about I take him to the precinct and you wait on the island?
This world? What are you talking about?
I've been muted. Oh no. Oh my god. Ah, shit.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it. Be very, very careful. It is We need a photo. No one will believe us. I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture. Understood, of course. Careful. It may be poisonous. It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species. Okay. In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. 3, 2, 1. I got it. Be careful, detective. It's moving. It's gone. Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life. Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
Our suspect is not looking so good.
What is it? What do you... see?
Mr. Dras? He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dras? Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dras. Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it. Mr. Dras, have you ever seen a stick insect? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo. We should think about getting back to the mainland, to get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
Very well. Huh?
Yes?
Les, we are done here.
Look what the tide brought him. Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead. Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that. We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later. But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi. Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact...
No, Trump, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid? You, shit kid, that's you. The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
And people on the street helped us too.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk. Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on. Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry?
It's okay. I didn't come here to gloat or to fool you. Neither did he, actually.
That's right. Worried. I'm always worried about you. Every time you don't show up to work, or when you do but stink. You're a worry fest. She's worried about you. I'm worried about you. Even Special Consultant Backpedal is worried about you. Everyone worries, instead of working.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilestam. What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily. No. Everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises. Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? He doesn't remember.
See? He really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke.
Yeah, that's very good. God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we? Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socio-economically?
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That...
But Detective Bigman, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it, hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
For now, I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? But now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Yeah, just stand there. It's cool. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Tequila sunset. Jump the canal. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. The thing that tells people you're a police officer.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun? He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain classier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsohagis. We know.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing, compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case.
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a
When
good
have I done that?
strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little off. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I've seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a
new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as a reed. It unfolded from the reed. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk. What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. That's great. Entrepreneurship is a great new career for you, after police officer.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Interesting. Then it is especially vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the entire species. We're probably talking conservation efforts here.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No.
This would really help with some of the...
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it... Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work would...
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink. I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why?
There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper.
Of course. Call it community outreach, right?
Lilianovich. Revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name, instead. This man's mother was Lilian, his Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory.
Of course, excuse me, I just thought...
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species, so I have to.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Who are you? You're a gym teacher. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is, and your moves on the church floor, which honestly were just jump aerobics. Of course. Contact Mike.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy. In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
It is getting cold out.
Yes, you taught gym in Corn. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you're so juvie.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Dora something. Dora England. No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time. Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora England really tore you a new one. Incredibly bangable. She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a whale can be. I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic? Us? With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guy.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me.
Yeah, not like us. 2 clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the fort.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with...
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershaw. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena?
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Ah.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to.
I do like the sound of that.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
How do they all fit in there? Oh my god. More teleportation.